Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our weekly update. This is March 1st, 2025. I did correct that. It has been wrong on the last couple of streams. I was able to fix it in post. I had put that it was 2024 until last week, so that was my bad. It is, in fact, 2025, I promise. But yeah, guys, it's been another hell of a week. It feels like it's been 3 weeks. There's been so much stuff going on. Thank you very much, Questionable Gardener, Bandit, West Virginia, everybody. Good to see you again. Yes, thank you very much, Gardner. Make sure to retweet, repost, whatever you've got to do to send out links to the stream. Get as many people in here as we can. I love to interact with you guys as much as possible. It just makes the stream more entertaining for me and probably for you guys as well. So make sure you do that. Share out the stream. And we will be getting started. Like I said, it's been a hell of a long week. Feels like the 22nd wouldn't have been that long ago, but it really has been. But you see here, Cash is being very classy. Started off, one of the first things he posted as the FBI director was the loss of 3 people. So we had the loss of 2 people in Virginia Beach Police Department, Cameron Gervin and Christopher Reese, as well as somebody in the West York Borough Police Department. It says here that they lost 3 of the bravest guardians of justice due to unacceptable criminal acts of violence against law enforcement. So you can see here, we have respect for law enforcement back in the White House, back in the administration. It is good to see. Not all people in law enforcement are good, right? There are bad apples, but for the most part, they do the job well. For the most part, they do the job that most of us would not want to do. My father was law enforcement. You can see my interview with him up on my YouTube channel. It is the first of the Patriot Files podcasts. Yeah, guys, we asked them to do very difficult things every day for us to keep us safe. I don't excuse the bad ones. There are definitely bad ones. I've dealt with them. It's not a lot of fun. Usually they have very bad attitudes. They abuse the position they're in, but most of them don't. Right? And most of them get put in horrendous situations, making split-second decisions that you and I wouldn't want to have to make. So just try and remember that. Be patient with law enforcement. Be patient with any first responder. Because, guys, they are out there doing a difficult job. And until you've been in those life or death situations where you have a split second to react, none of us really have any place questioning their decisions. Monday morning quarterbacking people is not productive. So it's good to see here that Cash started off his term there in office paying respects to some fallen officers. So I did like to see that. That's why I wanted to bring it up. We also have Vivek. A little bit of a hard segue, but Vivek announced his candidacy for Ohio governor. So it's good to see with him out of the administration. He's doing something productive because J.D. Vance left Ohio, right? One of the senators to go to the administration. So it's good to see Ohio maintaining some strong personnel there. And you can see here Elon Musk is showing his support for that candidacy. As am I. I really hope Vivek does well. Look, I have some misgivings about his and Elon's support for H-1B. It seems a little bit irrational. I understand the place for some of those visa programs because, sometimes we have difficulty finding workers, but I have a feeling a lot of these companies are abusing H-1B and the other visa programs. How's it going, Jack? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I see you are watching from YouTube, so thank you. But yeah, guys, the weird support for H-1B, I get it. There's a place for these visa programs. There's a place for illegal immigration. I completely get it. But I think a lot of these companies are abusing it. They're not making a full effort to find qualified American workers that are already here. Guys, we have plenty of people graduating STEM programs in the United States. There should be plenty of people to fill those jobs. So I get it. They like using those programs, both Vivek in the pharmaceutical industry and Elon in the space industry and the boring industry and every industry, the automotive industry, every industry, they all use them. So I understand their defense of it from their perspective, but I am still not really 100% on board with it. I think we have plenty of qualified people here And I would much rather see that people here that are struggling to find employment in those areas get those jobs. So hopefully we don't see more infighting about that on the not left, because it's not really the right anymore. The MAGA party, this coalition, is more than just one party, folks. It's basically everybody not the left, because if you're not a hard progressive on the left, they look at you as an extreme rightist. So you might as well be part of the MAGA movement, guys, and be part of that big tent. But we're not all going to be hardcore Christian conservative right-wingers. And you know what? That's okay, because we're not communists and we're not progressives. Jack, set notifications so you didn't miss it again. I appreciate that, Jack, taking that little bit of extra effort. Much appreciated. So Elon Musk posed a question, and I liked Data Republican's response, so I included this in the weekly update. But if you woke up tomorrow as president, what would be the first change you would make? And Elon Musk says, it's a good question. I agree. And look at Data Republican, or Jenica's response. Sign an executive order that identity theft is no longer permitted. Multiple people per social security number are no longer permitted anywhere in any agency database, and they have 1 month to drop these identity thieves. They know perfectly who these thieves are. And for context, read this article. Federal government deliberately permits this at all levels internally. So we have the article, guys. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it better. The big thing is this chart, guys. But here you see the fraud can be detected each year when employers submit W-2s, because if they are paying you on payroll and you have given them a false social security number, they still report that payroll to the IRS. So Social Security Administration analyzes W-2s to detect inaccuracies such as mismatched names to numbers it has on file. But what does it do? That's the real question. So if you follow this flow chart, guys, you start off with employers are required to submit W-2s to SSA by January 31st. Cool. And usually they do. They look to detect inaccuracies. If it's accurate, it goes to the master earnings file. And then it sends the W-2s to the IRS. Cool. Master earnings file. That's where they keep track of all the people that are properly paying into Social Security. Great. For an inaccurate W-2, though, it goes into an earnings suspense file. Now you might wonder, earnings suspense file? What does that mean? Well, guys, earnings suspense file comes into play. The earnings suspense file, established in 1937, was long in accounting for wayward tax and Social Security payments. For instance, when a newly married woman changed her name but forgot to notify the Social Security Administration, should a legitimate taxpayer find he didn't get the tax refunds or Social Security benefits because of a mix-up with his Social Security number, the ESF records ideally would help him get what he was owed. Unreconciled filings would remain in the ESF. For decades, little money was recorded in the file. According to the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, for 3 decades between 1950 and 1980, just $33 billion in uncredited earnings were recorded. Because, for the most part, we didn't have an identity theft problem. Then you look here and it says contributions to the ESF exploded after passage of the ICRA in 1986, as the Social Security Administration Inspector General report provided a chart showing the annual contributions. Yeah, guys, this identity fraud is known. It is widespread, and it is used to basically make up shortfalls and used like a slush fund. It's wild, guys. It's absolutely wild. It's well known. I agree. West Virginia, it's absolutely true. Yes, Jenica was right on point with that answer. Any duplicate Social Security number in federal programs and federal databases should be eliminated immediately. But you can see here, Elon Musk with some more good news, I guess you could say, for Starship and the Starship program. He was on Joe Rogan this week. I have not yet had a chance to watch it. I've seen clips here and there, and it looks like it's a really good conversation. So I probably will watch that during my commute this coming week. And if I see any really good clips from it, I'll bring you the extras that I don't catch in this week's weekly update. But Full and immediate reflight of Starship along with orbital refilling probably happens next year. This is a fundamental breakthrough needed to make life interplanetary. And like I said, guys, multiplanetary life is his goal. If you look at all of his companies, they are all in alignment with that goal. They just are. It's a 22-second little clips here, so we'll just listen to this.
The ship, I think we'll achieve reusability of the ship this year. And I think we'll achieve rapid reusability of the hull stack, ship and booster next year. This is the fundamental breakthrough required for life to become multiplanetary.
I don't know why. I just love hearing him talk. It's just the way he talks. Tickles my brain, I guess, in a certain way. It's my little bit of autism. I don't know, man. Gardner says it's great, Elon, because I'm an alien. I keep telling people that no one believes me. I'm just trying to get back to my planet. I agree, Gardner. Karen, let's go. How's it going, Karen? Good to see you. Hopefully I don't get reported to management. Gardner, X is awesome. The YouTube stream lags by 20 seconds. Oh, dang. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Sorry, Jack. I guess you're 20 seconds in the past. It's good to know, though. Appreciate the input. Let's see. Nick Sortor. Yeah. Oh, this was a good one. And I look forward to the follow-up. Hopefully we'll have this for you guys next week. But Karen, never. Karen, isn't that the specialty of Karen's, is to report you to somebody? If you're going to report me to somebody, just report me to somebody important. That way I can get a good interview. You can see here, Nick Sotor, Swalwell panics when I ask him about his Chinese spy girlfriend, Fang Fang. Fong Fong, I don't know. However, whatever, and whether that's a bigger national security threat than Elon Musk. Yeah, guys, it's hilarious when Swalwell goes on X and tries to accuse other people of being a security liability. Guy was sleeping with a Chinese spy. Like, I don't know how much more of a security threat you can be. I don't know. There's a pretty good little clip here, guys, and we're going to watch this. I'm going to make it full screen. We can watch it real quick.
Congressman, you referred to Elon Musk as a fascist at some point and alluded to him being a national security threat. Do you see that more of a national security threat, you sleeping with a Chinese spy, than transparency in the federal government? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? What's Fang Fang think of that?
What are you doing? This is ridiculous.
I mean, what's fascistic about exposing government corruption? I mean, I know you're just at dinner now with a bunch of lobbyists. You know, they're buying you a bunch of booze, and you know that's awfully nice. I know you were talking about, maybe finding somebody else because you only like to fuck.
It's a good thing I paused it there because it sounded like he was about to drop the F-bomb, but he just followed him through one of the circle doors. I only watched part of this before. I didn't actually see the whole clip. This is hilarious.
People that are tens. I just heard that one too. So what do you think about that? Do you want to comment on any of it? No. Elon Musk is a national security threat, but you sleeping with a Chinese spy is not. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You don't want to comment on that at all? Looks like guilty as charged.
Oh, guys. Yeah. As you can see here at the bottom of his post, there's more to come later, that he had about an hour and a half of audio to go through. Bright lights. Big shout out to Laura Loomer for assisting me digging into this clown while I focused on listening in. Yeah, guys, I am looking forward to the follow-up on this. It's going to be wonderful. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of recording of him having dinner and drinks with lobbyists and bragging about things that he really shouldn't. You can see here, spoke about abusing his power on the Intel committee, which he's since been booted off of, saying he pushed to subpoena Ivanka Trump because she's hot AF. So not only is he sleeping with a Chinese spy and a security risk, apparently he's also simping after people in Trump's family. Absolutely wild, guys. Pot, meat kettle, glass houses, any of those old sayings that you know of. Eric Swalwell is every single one of them. So I'm looking forward to the follow-up on this, and I will bring it to you next week if it's out. I'm really looking forward to it. Another thing is press pool and the White House and the Pentagon has been getting a big shakeup. So we had that the Huffington Post reporter was removed from the press pool. You can see here my comment at the top that they're not a serious organization anymore. No more propaganda. Yep. I was actually quite pleased to see that. Yeah, guys, the media little mix up, whatever they're doing, it's great. Giving access to more independent media, giving access to more of the content creator, podcasters, independent media. It's really good to see. Now, what we saw, and we'll go over it a little bit, with the whole Epstein files and the Zelensky stuff, like some of that stuff where we saw them getting some photo ops and some other stuff that was just really bad optics. Not good. But I do like that they release that information to independent people and content creators that have bigger followings than most of these news channels, guys. Like, don't kid yourself. Most of them have bigger audiences than most of the TV channels now. So I'm glad to see it. This traditional media is dying as they should. It's wonderful. Karen, more liberal tears? Yes, liberal tears are delicious. In fact, if you can get one in a nice little Trump mug or something, they're great. You can drink some wonderful liberal tears. Maybe that's actually what I have in here. It's just full of liberal tears. I collect them all week and then I drink them on stream. I should just put a little label on that thing. Just label it liberal tears. Jack, okay, I came to the Cool Kid platform just listening while mopping. Oh, no worries, Jack. Good to see you over on X. Bandit, so salty. Yeah, that is true. They are kind of salty. But you know what? It's okay. You can see here we're starting to get into Dr. Gold. Good to see you. Hello. You can see here that we're getting into Doge updates. There was a bunch of those this week as well. Doge canceled $32 million in payments to interviews for initiatives including media-enabled democracy, inclusion, and accountability in Moldova, because that's really important to the people of the United States, and promoting sustainable media outlets. Well, I don't think the mainstream media is a sustainable media outlet anymore, folks. I really don't. Interviews, CEO Jean Bergault, probably didn't say that right, and don't care, went viral earlier this year for saying the global advertising industry needs to cut off money to disinformation and bad content, which they targeted directly at X. So it's kind of amusing to see some of this coming back around.
Disinformation makes money, and that's one of the, we need to follow that money, and we need to work with the, and particularly the global advertising industry, that a lot of those dollars go to pretty bad content. And so you can work really hard on exclusion lists or inclusion lists to sort of really try to focus ad dollars and challenge the global advertising industry.
What that really sounds like, guys, is that they want to intentionally promote some content and not others, and use advertisers as a way to silence people or blacklist certain people. So good job, Doge. They don't deserve the money. It's amazing that you cut their money off, because we were paying them to turn around and target people that we liked to listen to. So bye. Couldn't happen to a nicer group of people. We also had the infamous "Give me 5 things you did last week" email. And yeah, looks like we had some clarification come out of the White House on this. It's wonderful to see. And I'm going to full screen this because, you know what? I love it. And I think she's doing a great job as press secretary. So let's just listen.
On Doge, last night Elon Musk said that a failure to respond a second time will result in termination. Will there be additional rounds of the "what did you do this week" email?
I hope so. I hope they send that email out every week. Every week. Can they just send that email out? Like, put it as a recurring email and it just goes out every week? Like, I would love that. What do you guys think? Do you think it should be weekly, monthly, quarterly? Like, what do you think is a good periodicity for the Doge "what did you do this week" emails? Because if you don't answer 2, you're gone, apparently. I love it.
From Doge to federal workers, and what's the guidance on the federal workers who've been instructed by their agencies not to reply?
So a couple of things on this. First of all, let's just take a step back and talk about this idea. The president sent out a truth last weekend to Elon Musk saying he loves everything Elon is doing and he wants him to be even more aggressive because Doge thus far has proven incredibly successful in making our government more efficient.
I love that. Bandit says weekly. Gardner says random monthly like a drug test. I actually kind of like that idea because it means you send 1/4 of the emails, but you have to be ready every week. So it's more efficient. I like where your head's at on that one, Gardner. Random monthly like a drug test. Yeah, I like that. I also like here that basically the journalists are wondering about whether it's going to happen again. And she's like, you know what? Trump likes what they're doing so much. He thought it was so good. He wants them to go harder. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
And so Elon and Doge came up with this idea. Elon has implemented this at his private companies. It has proven successful.
Yep.
And it's a very simple idea when you think about it. All the Office of Personnel Management is asking, all this administration is asking, President Trump is asking, is for federal workers who live off of the American taxpayer's dime to send 5 bullet points of what they have done in the previous week. That is all we are asking for. And so the Office of Personnel and Management sent out additional guidance last night. Those responses should be directed to agency leadership, and the president defers to his cabinet secretaries, who he's obviously entrusted to pursue the guidance relative to their specific workforce.
I love it, guys. Like, I love it. And it looks like Bandit has revised. I think the Gardner's recommendation for the random monthly testing is winning right now. And you know what? I like that idea. If you have a chance, put a poll. If you want, Gardner, put a poll out for periodicity on that, and I'll answer it too. I think that'd be a fun test to see what the other people on X think. Maybe we can go over the results next week. Make it like a 3 or 5 day test or something. I think that'd be fun. But yeah, guys, wonderful, wonderful. Love to see this Doge email. Love to see it. In fact, as a follow-up, Derek Evans here posts that Caroline Levitt replied to the email asking federal workers. She says, this email took me 2 minutes to draft. 2. Held a press conference briefing to mark 1 month of the Trump admin with special guest Waltz Miller Hassett. Gave speech at CPAC. Staffed POTUS for CPAC speech on Saturday. Joined Fox News and participated in the media row in the EEOB. I don't know what that is, but it still counts. It's a bullet point. So grateful to have a job and work hard on behalf of American taxpayers who fund my salary. 2 minutes, guys. And we have these hordes of federal worker just mouth-breathing demons that just fighting so hard, spending way more time than it would take to write the email to fight against it. Yeah. Karen's got a link. Oh, should I open it? Let's see. I actually use Edge to open links while I'm on stream, Karen, just so I could check them first. Although what I got is, it could be you, it could be us, but there's no page. I got a no page error. Oh, you know why? It cut out. I copy pasted wrong. My bad. I missed the L on the end. That'll do it. Oh, they're doing okay. They did it again. Copy pasting is so hard. It's just so difficult. Let me see. So let me open a new little thing here. We'll post that. Boop. And we'll do this live. Doing it live. Go away. All right. So you can see here, federal employees are asked again to report their activities at work, now on a weekly basis. I still kind of like the monthly idea because that's like 1/4 of the number of emails, because hopefully they're using AI to scrape those emails or track who's responded and who hasn't. But you can see here federal employees at multiple government agencies are once again being told to report their work accomplishments over the past week to the Trump administration, according to a union source, and several employees who received the Friday evening missives. What a weird word. Who wrote this? Tammy Luby, Renee Marsh, and Nick Valenci. Yeah, these sounds like some DEI hires if I ever heard them. The email titled, "What did you do last week? Part 2. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I love the humor. Good job, Elon. You guys are great. But poll is posted. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Can I actually get that pulled up on stream? Okay, good. It didn't. I'm going to see if I can answer it myself. Doop. Give me a second. I'm trying to find your poll. Questionable gardener. There we go. Random like a drug test. Winning. Weekly. 75% already with 8 votes. Not bad. Not bad. But you can see here, Libs of TikTok, federal employee claims she had to work on a Saturday after falling behind because Elon's simple email asking for 5 completed tasks threatened and harassed her. This is not a serious employee, folks. This lady should not have a job. Like, maybe I'm just a jerk, but this lady should not have a job. Let me know what you think.
The email that came out wanting us to justify our jobs.
She looks exactly like I thought she would. And Haymarket. I work in Northern Virginia, guys. You got to be kidding me.
With 5 things we did last week was on Saturday night. Yeah. And I was literally working on Saturday night to make up for all the distractions I had the previous week.
So many distractions at work, probably working from home, that she just had to work on a Saturday, probably getting paid overtime on your and my dollars. What is these are not even serious people, guys.
Which came from the executive branch. And so I'm working, trying to catch up on things. And then
she was playing like solitaire. There's no way she was. Oh, you know what? What was the game like a while back? Farmville, Bejeweled. I don't know. There was another couple of stupid mobile games that had people for a while. I'm old. I keep thinking like Fruit Ninja and shit, and I don't think that's a popular one. But this lady was playing mobile games. There's no way she was so busy during the week. So busy. Oh, distractions and just so busy because of this 5 bullet point, 2-minute email to draft. Carolyn Levitt, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. No, I got to work overtime on a Saturday. Bandit Unhinged. Karen, exact, yeah. West Virginia says, why would our government even hire her? I don't know, bro. Our government hires all kinds of people that don't deserve it. Dr. Gold, I don't get why people are so mad about this. We should want to know what our money is being used on people that are actually doing their jobs. Yes, exactly, Dr. Gold. Exactly. And you know what? Every like week or two, I have a one-on-one meeting with my manager and we talk about things that I'm working on. I also talk about things that I'm working on like every day to my manager because I have to update them on the status of projects and other programs that are and all these things that are in flight. I think right now on my list to do, I think I have like 8 projects that are all in flight, all taking coordination with different organizations. Guys, I talk to my people all the time about what I'm working on. If anyone had any idea to be like, hey, what is Patriot working on? They would open up the little tracking program and they'd be like, yeah, he's busy. Yeah, I wouldn't even have to write the email because it's all being tracked in metrics. These people aren't serious people. Bandit Bingo, yep. Favor West Virginia, she doesn't realize she's an employee of the people, not just the executive branch. Correct. Gardner, she was watching AOC live streams. I swear to God, if she was watching AOC Twitch live streams while at work, just fired immediately. In fact, you know what that reminds me of? I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. And I hate to do this to you guys live because you're just watching me poke around on my phone. But I am going to try and find... Why is it always view all? Is it really going to be like this? Why is it like this? I had a meme that goes really well with that, and I don't know where it went. If I can't find it in the next few seconds, guys, I apologize. I'll move on. But it's so fitting for this. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Really? It was basically go. Here it is. Boom. Okay. This is this lady. Like, this is this lady. 100%. This is her problem. This is the meme for this lady. I'll have to post that to X. This is a good one. I've had that on my phone forever. That is this lady. That's why she didn't have her shit done.
Get that email on top of it. It's very...
Oh, I couldn't do that email on top of all the other bejeweled whatever shit that I was playing. Like, get out of here, lady. You're fired. We need the good old President Trump from back when he was on the Apprentice. Just be like, you're fired. Elon Musk also spoke at the cabinet meeting, not wearing a suit. You'll get the joke if you were following Zelensky at all this week, but they were also shitting on him for not wearing a suit. I don't really care, to be honest, but...
Mr. Musk. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Also, I really want one of those dark MAGA hats. Next time I'm at Trump International Hotel, I'm going to see if they have one.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. Musk. Are there about half of the government employees so far appear to have responded to your request?
Oh, half of the employees responded. Good. Gardner says, oh, yeah, I haven't hacked your phone yet. I can't search that. Soon, though. West Virginia. How many subscriptions? Oh, funny you mentioned that. Licenses and subscriptions are coming up. Don't worry. Get one for me, too. Had a suit coat. Z-neck. I don't know what that is. If you want me to get you one, if I can find one, because when I go to the Trump Hotel here at the end of the month, they have an entire like merch store in their lobby. As long as somebody is not trying to blow up a Cybertruck in the lobby while I'm there, again, thankfully that missed me by one day because I was literally there the day before. Yeah, I'll see if I can find one for you.
For what they've been doing over the past week. Is there a timeline in place for next moves for people being fired, and when can people expect to see results of that?
Yes. Well, to be clear, I think that email perhaps was misinterpreted as a performance review, but actually it was a pulse check review. Do you have a pulse?
And guys, that's the whole point, right? Everybody took it like it's a performance review. And he even admitted, he even posted on X, no, that is not the case, guys. It's like literally, are you alive? Are you an employee that's actually alive? And are you checking your email? That's it. That's all they were pretty much checking. Because like I said, Caroline took 2 minutes to write her response.
You have a pulse and 2 neurons.
A pulse and 2 neurons. Some employees might have a pulse. The 2 neurons might be asking for a little too much.
So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. This is, I think not a high bar, is what I'm saying. This is, anyone can accomplish this? But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead, which is probably why they can't respond. And some people who are not real people, like they're literally fictional individuals that are.
So they actually think there's fake people collecting paychecks. That's crazy. How they would have been hired in the first place, who knows? But yeah, people that have passed away, people who are like moonlighting, like they're just working for the government, but they're working somewhere else. They're probably not even checking their email anymore because they got away with it for 4 years. So they're basically just like, are these people real people? Are they alive? Makes sense. I like it. And then Trump has a follow-up.
Mr. President, can you clarify, hopefully once and for all, what your expectations are with this email to federal employees? What are you going to use that information for? And do you see it as voluntary, like OPM has said, or mandatory?
Yeah, well, it's somewhat voluntary, but it's also, if you don't answer, I guess you get fired.
That doesn't sound somewhat voluntary at all.
What it really is do people exist? We have this massive government with millions of people, and nobody knows who's working for the government, who's not. So what they're doing is they're sending out a letter to everybody, and they're saying, what were the things you did last week? I guess they ask for 5. And if people are working, it's easy. I could tell you 5 things I did last week. I could tell you 5 things I did 6 weeks ago, right? If they're there and they're working, they're able to say they did 5 things during work.
Yeah, guys, if they're there, they're a real person, they're alive, and they're collecting a paycheck, they can answer the damn email. But like they said in the last video, it was like half of the people have responded. So I guess that's a good pulse check. If only half respond, though, does that mean we can fire half the federal employees? That'd be a great cost savings, by the way. West Virginia's pulse check for government. Never thought we could see the day. I'm with you, brother. I know. Somewhat voluntary. Yeah, I did like that wording. It was it tickled my fancy a little bit. Gardner says some agencies you need only submit your hours worked, but to access email, you have to be in the office on secure server. That was backdoor to see who's in the office. Ooh, good point. There are also some agencies where they were literally able to say like, hey, I'm here, but I work on classified stuff. And that was it. Like, that's all they had to say. Because we know there's a lot of people that do work that's clearance related work where they can't just openly talk about it in an email. And in the email, it literally said like, hey, guys, don't send us classified information, please. Oh, we got the St. Louis Fed. What do we got, Karen? All right. Federal employees, all government employees. Good Lord. Okay, I'm posting this. That is just gross. Just gross. You just got a little bit of a preview. One of Gardner's stories. All employees. So this is in thousands. Yeah, thousands of persons on the left there. The left vertical axis, thousands of persons. There are 23.5 million government employees total. That is way too damn many. That's like 8% or something, like 7 or 8% of all people in the United States. That's insane. It's absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane. What do they all do? No idea, Karen. No idea. I know there's some of them, like you have law enforcement, you have like the bureaucracy, but like, holy, click on tenure. Does it get worse? What do you mean click on tenure? Tenure. Oh, what? Can we do that? Oh, that's not even that many though. Dr. Gold, $4.99. Thank you very much for the super chat. Love that we have a president that actually is answering questions. We have a slide coming up for that where somebody was actually tracking the number of questions that our president has taken already. Groundhog says they should do a pulse check on senators and Congress. Oh my God. Yeah, like McConnell. Some of them look like they get wheeled out of a retirement home to come vote. Like, guys, it is getting insane. The number of octogenarians and higher in Congress is out of control. But it looks like a big change here, and it is. You have like a difference of what, 21.3, 22.8. So that's like 1.5 million less. But it's not as big of a drop as I was hoping it would be. Thank you for the graph, though. I always love Fred data, guys. Fred data is good. If you ever have a question about any kind of Federal Reserve data, that's definitely the place to go. In the next story, we have something here from the questionable Gardner himself. Yep. American Red Cross. We went over the International Red Cross last time. But we have a thread here, guys. American Red Cross, just shy of $3.7 billion in revenue, with just under $1 billion coming from grants. Doesn't even cover the payroll. You have 1.5 to 1.7 billion, roughly 45% of the funding goes to salaries, guys. Almost half of your American Red Cross donations and tax grants and everything else goes to salaries. Why do all of these agencies and organizations spend a third to half of their revenue on salary? Volunteering is a dead cause, apparently. Yeah, guys, those aren't volunteers that are getting paid. Those are straight bureaucrats. Top 3 positions pulled more than $800,000 a year. President was $800,000. Top 3 was top 3 positions more than $750,000. Oh, let's see. Do we have a good? Yeah, that's a lot. Despite being American Red Cross, they still sent money to foreign countries. Let's get this blown up. Come on. So can't zoom it. Okay. So we have Central America and the Caribbean, East Asia and Pacific. Europe got 66, almost 67 million. Middle East, North Africa, Europe again, including Greenland, 20 more million. Guys, why is the American Red Cross? Why are they sending? Why is the American Red? There's an international Red Cross, guys. Their job is international. This is the American Red Cross. Why? Why are we sending money to a foreign country from the American Red Cross? The OG NGO. Yeah, Karen, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Shell, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, guys, American Red Cross, not so American, apparently. Half their money goes to payroll. Apparently, a good chunk of it also goes to foreign countries. And like so many other agencies, they suck at fundraising, losing money on 3 events, which angers Questionable Gardener to no end, guys. No end. Which I don't blame them. It's really annoying. If you're a fundraising company and like a NGO or a charity of some sort, and you can't even raise money effectively on your own, so you just get federal grants, like, you shouldn't exist. How's it going, Shell? There's a misconception among those that since you donate blood for free, that means the American Red Cross gives it to hospitals for free. 6 houses in Haiti. Yeah. Yeah, they don't give it to hospitals for free, guys. They sell it. Hospitals and pharmaceutical companies are charged, accounting for $2 billion that they collected by selling blood. Your blood, my blood. They sell blood products, guys, and they make a lot of money doing it. While donations have dwindled over the last 20 years, so too have revenues, while costs have gone up despite salaries are climbing. So they're getting paid more to do less. Top of the scandals it has endured in Haiti, they raised $500 million and built 6 homes. Spent 6 homes. 6 homes, $500 million. That's an outrageous amount of money to build 6 houses. You could have built palatial estates for that kind of money. For Hurricane Sandy, they overcounted meals, leading to food waste and inefficient resource use. Yeah, not surprised at all. American Red Cross is an organization that provides life-saving blood to hospitals, plasma for medical production, and nearly 50% of overhead. Combined with fundraising losses, fewer and fewer donations, and salary increases, they are in need of a major overhaul. Special thanks, as always, to the Data Republican for tools that make this research easier and obtainable. Yeah, big homes. Yeah, exactly. Shell says, thanks for the follow on X. You are welcome. Thanks, Clinton Foundation. Oh, guys, the people of Haiti do not like the Clintons. Like, they are not friends. They are, which is probably better for their health, because friends of the Clintons seem to get real sad. But guys, yeah, American Red Cross, not a good place. And then here's another thing from Questionable Gardener. Yeah, he having a really good time digging into some of this waste, guys, using Jenica's tools. And we'll get into that also. That's another story this week. Sadly, not big homes, just support salaries, not actual construction. I know. You could have built like large hotels, like luxury hotels for that kind of money, and you could have housed a lot of people, but they didn't. U.S. salmon industry in 2017 produced $61 million in seafood, but received $1.1 billion in grants. That math doesn't math, bro. It doesn't math. It's crazy. But yeah, Oh, Chelsea's wedding. Yes, that's also an important line item, Karen. Good point. Don't forget to bring that one up. You also have here that HUD Secretary Scott Turner said the Doge task force at HUD. So now these federal organizations are actually starting to implement their own Doge units, which is wonderful to see. Man, it's totally disgusting. Yes.
We have a Doge task force at HUD.
Which is great, guys. The fact that we have Doge task forces cropping up in all of these different organizations, it's wonderful.
And so we found $260 million in savings and contracts. $4 million of that was in DEI contracts that were for cultural transformation, which has nothing to do with the mission of HUD.
DEI contracts for HUD? Why?
And also an additional $1.9 billion in misplaced funds.
I'm sorry. How much? Let me go back a couple of seconds.
Do with the mission of HUD, and also an additional $1.9 billion in misplaced funds.
How do you misplace 1.8 billion? Bandit, Karen, Gardner, West Virginia, Shell, any of you guys. If you guys misplaced $1.8 billion, how much trouble would you be in? I know my ass would be fired. That's outrageous.
And so, part of being servant leaders like Brooke and I and our cabinet colleagues is to be good stewards of American taxpayer dollars.
Guys, what was the last time? What was the last time you heard somebody in government say that it's our responsibility to be good stewards of the American people's money? Like, it sounds crazy. Probably because it's coming from a politician, guys, but it's a normal thing. If you are spending other people's money, you should have extra respect for it, not less. But these politicians just cannot spend OPM fast enough, and they don't care what it's on. In fact, they love if it helps out one of their friends. They love if it drops bombs on some kid overseas, because then their friends in the military-industrial complex and at Raytheon and all of these big defense manufacturers, they can make some more bombs and missiles. It's just outrageous. Jack says, ask the Pentagon. Oh, God, Jack, the Pentagon waste and audit failures are astronomical. Shell says, big trouble. Yep, Bandit out on my ass. Yeah, I think Kara is probably more correct. Jail. Questionable Gardner says, DEI and HUD, rainbow garden flag for the front lawn. Shell says, I'm dumbfounded. Like those $600 toilets, they get $400 rainbow flags. Gardner, you might be closer than you think. But yeah, guys, it's good to see these different organizations take this shit seriously, guys. They've been wasting our money for so long. And you know what? You know what I'm going to pull up? We're just going to pull this up right now because I just want to see what it's at. National debt, $36.5 trillion. But look at that Doge clock, guys. $152 billion. Doge clock is climbing. I love to see it. Love to see it. What I don't love to see, though, if you look at unfunded debt, the line like right here, look at the numbers on the top line, third over. Total U.S. total debt. $102 trillion. Like, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see if it'll go back. Did it go back? Okay, good. It went back. Whew. Can't remember if it remembers what tab you were on. Anyways, Data Republican doing some amazing work. This is one of the posts from early in the week. The Uniparty unmasked. They believe they are democracy. The 7 NGOs in the chart below, in my view, represent the Uniparty. Each of these organizations receives substantial financial support from USAID or the Department of State. Excuse me. Around 2019, the phrase democracy in danger began to dominate public disclosures amplified by the media. This was odd. After all, the U.S. is a democracy, or more precisely, a constitutional republic. Good job, Jenica. But as I traced the influence of these NGOs, a pattern emerged. They are controlled by establishment politicians. They play a major role in shaping political narratives worldwide, and their core mission is always framed as protecting democracy. Yeah, guys, you want to see something real gross? Just look at this. The National Endowment for Democracy passing money for the Center for International, who knows? The National Endowment for Democracy also passing many, many millions to the International Republican Institute. It looks like the Consortium for Elections just passed money to itself. So that's fun. 50 million bucks, another 51 million to the International Republican Institute. 64 million going to the National Democratic Institute for something, which also passed some money on to the International Republican Institute. Yeah, guys, look at the amount of taxpayer funds. It's absolutely crazy. Let's see. Catch up on some comments here. Jack, very few have that mindset, and they're mostly district reps. Yes. Shell was mind blown. Yeah, I think we all are. Jack, what are we going to see after 3-month freeze, though, is the question. Yes. Dr. Gold, hope that Trump actually will try to pay off some of the debt. Yes. We need to start paying that down, guys. The interest alone is more than our defense spending. Like, that's not good. We spend $1 trillion a year just on interest. God. Insane. But yeah, guys, you can just see the amount of money. Taxpayer funds. 362 million, 165 million, 58 million, 167 million, 49 million, 130 million, 93 million. Guys, these organizations are what is bleeding us dry. Now, yes, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, still predominant, huge expenses, right? But this part of the budget is out of control. Completely out of control, guys. And you can see here, Data Republican, please note that Mike Benz is the expert on the topic. I'm just a technical person researching and learning alongside all of you to understand how these NGOs connect to democracy. Take a look at what AI says about the purpose of each one. Ooh, I actually never read this before, so let's actually read this together. The International Republican Institute promotes democracy by training political parties and leaders, primarily supporting U.S. foreign policy interests through a Republican-aligned lens. The National Democratic Institute advances democracy by fostering political participation and governance reforms worldwide aligned with Democrat Party priorities. Consortium for Elections and okay. I need to drink some liberal tears real quick because all of these words are tying my tongue. Oh, Lord. Insanity. Correct, Karen. Agreed, Bandit. Shell, holy cow. Jack, like Trump said to Zelensky, we are borrowing that money that he's gifted, and we have to pay interest. Yes, grants given are flow-in grants. The red line grants is what they get directly from government. Okay, good to know. Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening. Gross. It just sounds awful. The Coalition for Democracy-Focused NGOs that support the electoral process, civil society, and governance reforms globally. The National Endowment for Democracy, NED. I've heard that name before, and I feel like it was not for a good thing. Acts as a primary funding hub for democracy promotion efforts worldwide, distributing U.S. government grants to NGOs supporting political and civil society development. Gross. Okay, International Foundations for Electoral Systems strengthens global democracy by providing technical assistance for election security, integrity, and voter participation. Internews supports independent media and press freedom worldwide, shaping democratic discourse by training journalists in combating disinformation. You know what that means, guys? That means grant money that is changing the way things are reported. We saw all kinds of censorship on our social media and elsewhere. because of disinformation, misinformation, malinformation. They've come up with so many stupid fucking terms. But they are censoring us using our own money. The Center for International Private Enterprise promotes democracy through free market economic policies, advocating for business-friendly governance and anti-corruption initiatives. Like, this all sounds like word salad, and I hate it. The Solidarity Center advances democracy by supporting independent labor movements and worker rights. You know what this one screams to me? I would be interested, Gardner. I don't know if you've looked into the Euromaidan protests from Ukraine, but this is the kind of stuff that USAID did to overthrow Yanukovych. Just saying. I have a video actually came out today about that on my YouTube channel, where Jeffrey, can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, Jeffrey Sachs talks about the history of NATO post-Soviet Union collapse. So it was actually pretty interesting. So if you want to check that out, please do. Often partnering with unions to promote political engagement. Yeah, guys, I hate every bit of it. Every bit of it. Really don't like it. Guys, Scott hit the nail on the head with this one. Andrew Yang, trying to be funny, posted a poll on February 25th, and with 143,946 votes, with still 12 hours left on the poll, 70% of votes said that, how are you feeling about the Trump administration thus far? Andrew Yang's people, 70%, great. Oh, you just can't make this shit up. I need a you've earned one, Scott. Here it says, you're such a pleasure to follow. Let me know when you want some vacation time in Florida. Owe you dinner and drinks. And he says, thank you. I need a vacation desperately. Can we do the spring? Guys, Scott is always so busy trying to register voters. He's doing great things. It's wonderful. Dr. Gold said, so when the government gives money to other countries, they don't give them loans. They just give them free money. Yeah, they're granting them money. Yeah, that's correct. Gardner says, thanks for the homework. You're welcome. I got a Restream thing. I received 100 messages today in Restream chat, so keep chatting. Love it. Karen says, great clip with Mr. Sachs. Did you get a chance to check it out? I enjoyed reacting to it. I hope you guys got something out of it. West Virginia says, they were forward-thinking Yangers. What is a Yanger? Maybe you can help me out with that one. Yeah, DOD issued a sweeping memo to strengthen our military. It states that those with gender dysphoria are incompatible with the high mental and physical standards necessary for military service. Service members with gender dysphoria are disqualified for military service. Let's see. Bandit, LOL, WV. I guess he gets the joke. Shell says, I want Scott to come to Michigan. I want Scott to go everywhere. Scott's great. Next time he's in Northern Virginia, I've been trying to reach out to him on X. I would love to sit down and talk with him, do an interview if possible. But if anything, I would love to just buy the guy lunch. Jack loves the poll. It was really good. Yeah, poor Andrew Yang. It's just, he thought he was going to get a better result. It did not go in his favor at all. Service members who took cross-sex hormones or sex change surgery are disqualified from military service. Yeah, guys, over the last 4 years, all the people that were joining to get that stuff for free, well, you're gone. That's the new stance, the new administration, the new SecDef, the new DOD, everybody. Yeah. Shell says he's awesome. He is. Guys, Scott did amazing work. Still does amazing work. Scott has been trying to switch. I believe it's the Wisconsin Supreme Court he's been working on. He's been working on trying to work on New Jersey. He's continuing to work on solidifying Pennsylvania. It's amazing. Other countries, Jack, other countries give loans. America just launders it back to personal accounts. Yeah, more often than not. Yes. That is my belief as well. Again, I'm not in the know. I don't work for any of these people. If I did, I would not be doing this live broadcast. I would be on an island somewhere eating grapes from some, lady. I don't know. I don't even know because I don't think about it. I'm just a working stiff. Is what it is. But yeah, they just launder it. Like, guys, that's the huge thing that people misunderstand about most of the aid going to Ukraine. More than half of it has been military aid. That military aid is literally just us giving them weapons and then us giving the money to like Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and all these other ones. We just give them the money to build the replacement weapons for the shit that we sent to Ukraine. Like, so it's literally, we're not giving it to Ukraine. We're taking full replacement value for old weapons on the books. We're sending the old stuff that's about to expire over to Ukraine. And then we're giving the money to our own people, probably the friends that they have in the military industrial complex, just to build the new stuff to put on the shelf here. It's annoying. Garner says, if anyone wants Patriot Dad to give his take on a specific NGO, let me know and I will get him the data. Yes, if you want to know. I will probably be angry with them. I will probably be upset with the fact that it's been allowed to happen for as long as it's happened and that the systems are set up the way that they are. Like, I can pretty much give you that review of any of them now without the data. Just an assumption. I'm probably going to hate them. Kristi Noem here, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, announces that she has found ICE raid leakers and is firing them. They will be fired. There will be consequences. Let's listen.
To get more, they will be fired. There will be consequences. And remember, when they leak information to the press in order to blow an op, they are putting law enforcement lives in jeopardy. They are risking their lives and putting their families in the position where they'll have to live without those individuals any further. So you bet we have used every tactic that we have. If you remember, we talked just last week about how I'm using polygraphs to go after and to really interview these folks. Because we are a national security agency, I have that tool I can use. Also looking at their emails, looking at their communications. And it's amazing how these bureaucrats who have an agenda to stop the work that we're doing to bring safety to America, how they will sell each other down the river if it's just to protect themselves. So don't worry, I am doing everything to find these leakers and to get rid of them so that we can do our work and our law enforcement officers and agents can do it safely.
Yikes. I agree. Good. I agree. I'm amused. I have not listened to that before. I am very amused that she's like, I've got polygraphs. I'm looking through their emails. I'm doing all the things. Because if you're blowing ops and you're giving inside secrets about ops that are coming to the media, to gangs, right? Because like Tren de Agua, like all these gangs, some of them are getting advance notice also, which means now that they've decided to brand some of these cartels and gangs as terrorist organizations, if you are supporting them by giving them secrets, you're supporting a terrorist organization, guys. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. So you guys are probably on notice already, but we're not messing around anymore. This goes in the FAFO category. Shell says, good. Absolutely. West Virginia, Noam is a badass. Yes, I agree. I agree with your assessment. Jack says, and then Congress makes money by insider trading in military arms manufacturing. Also true. Like Pelosi. Or, oh no, it's not me. It's my husband. Nobody buys it. Karen says she's taking them to the gravel pit. I understand the reference. And I approve. That's a different kind of firing, though, Jack. Yeah, not just fired, absolutely prosecuted. I agree. Yeah, it's good to see, guys. We really need to clean up these systems. And like I said earlier, somebody was keeping count. Derek Evans here posts the number of questions each president has taken from the media during the first month in office. Barack Obama answered 161 questions. And not bad. Trump, 57. Sorry, 45. Trump 45. It's late. Trump 45, 199. Joe Biden 141. So Sleepy Joe not too bad in his first month. Now, if I want to see what his last month was, -4. But Donald Trump first month 1,009. Like 5xing everybody. 5x'd himself. It's an insane number of questions that he's answering, but you know what? I love it. I love the amount of interaction, the amount of transparency. It's great. Biden answered 141 ice cream questions. What's your favorite flavor, Joe? How many licks does it take to get to the center of your ice cream cone, Joe? What's your favorite kind of cone, Joe? I could probably come up with 141 ice cream questions. Is Rocky Road Rocky enough for you, Joe? Groundhog says old school cement shoes. Yeah, guys, I love you guys in the crowd. Like, the audience is great. The interaction's wonderful. Love every bit of it. Yeah, guys, he's talking to him nonstop. It's so good. Something that's really crazy, guys, is that Elon, this is Dinesh D'Souza posted this, but this came out of the Joe Rogan podcast, and he says that we figured out the Soros racket, guys. It doesn't involve Soros spending his own money. It means Soros was making a seed investment so he can get his hands on your money. He makes you pay through the government to fund your own destruction. Yeah, guys, he was just seed moneying NGOs and then using those NGOs to get a bunch of tax grant, to get a bunch of federal grants.
It's kind of a hack to the system where, you know, someone can get an NGO stood up for a fairly small amount of money. Like George Soros was really good at this. Like George Soros is like a system hacker. Like he figured out how to hack the system. He's a genius at arbitrage. I mean, these days he's pretty old, but a genius at arbitrage. So he figured out that you could leverage a small amount of money to create a nonprofit, then lobby the politicians to send a ton of money to that nonprofit, so you can take what might be, you know, a $10 million donation to a nonprofit to create a nonprofit and leverage that into $1 billion NGO. And a nonprofit is a weird word. It's just a non-governmental organization, and then the government continues to fund that every year, and it'll have a nice sounding name, like the Institute for Peace or something like that.
Or Save the Children. Right, Gardner?
But really, it's a graft machine.
And what are the requirements with that money? What do they have to do?
Just really no requirements at all.
Yep.
So they just get grants and the government just assumes that they're doing good work.
I think a lot of people in the government know that they're not doing good work.
Ooh, guys. Absolutely crazy. But this goes to show that they've learned to game the system, guys. And they helped write the system. Gardner, I just saw your comment. Joe, what shampoo do you like sniffing? What's the brand name for like a kid shampoo? Because that'd probably be the one, right? Biden has disappeared. Yeah. Dr. Gold says Trump is actually telling the truth. He's actually telling the people what he's doing. Yes, and he did that in the first term too. Like when he was like, "Oh, we have the best weapons deal with Saudi Arabia, guys. We're selling them billions of dollars of weapons. They're the best weapons." And everybody in the first term, when he said that, everyone was like, "Guys, he just said the quiet part out loud. You're not supposed to admit that. Like, we're not supposed to admit to being the world's largest arms dealers." Yeah. Shell says Soros is such a swell guy. Sarcasm. Yeah. Soros is not a good person. His son Alex is probably going to pick up right where he left off. He may not be as good at it yet, but he's probably going to get better. He's got a lot of money to work with to fail at, to figure it out. Dr. Gold says Trump's actually telling the people, yes, Karen, look at Senator Whitehouse. There's a senator named Whitehouse. Isn't it the White House, or is there actually a Senator Whitehouse? That's crazy. Questionable Gardner, Save the Children, $900 million took 263 off the top and then gave the rest away. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Save the children, guys, is a real hot button topic with Gardner. That was one of the first deep dives he did, and it's outrageous, guys. It is truly outrageous. If you want, Gardner, throw the link to that thread in the chat so that people can go check it out if they haven't already, because if they haven't seen that one, they should. They absolutely should. Gardner says no more tears. Yep. Full transparency. Yeah, Bandit, we need it. We really, really do. We really do. Gardner on it. Got here Brianna. I don't know who that is, but pure panic at the FBI. As I exclusively reported yesterday, Director Kash Patel has fired several employees. Hundreds of agents are being forced to transfer or resign. Yes, they are in the Federal Bureau of Investigation transferring a bunch of people to these field offices, and they're saying you're transferring or you're gone. And I love it. FBI are arguing whether their actions these last 4 years were legal, according to a source. One employee's arguing their actions were legal because they had court orders, while another employee reminded him they lied to the judges to obtain those court orders. Accountability is underway. That is crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me open this one, Karen. Good find. Let's see. New tab. Paste. Ethics watchdog flags senator helping wife rake in millions from nonprofit. A watchdog is asking Senate Ethics Committee to investigate Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. I'm shocked. Accused of violating ethics rules after backing laws that financially benefited his wife's environmental organization. Like at a certain point, guys, it really starts to feel like, why in the hell do I bother showing up to a regular job? Like, these assholes are getting so wealthy off of our money, doing such shady bullshit. It's so upsetting, guys. It's so upsetting. Thank you, though, for sharing it, Karen. I'm not mad at you. I promise. I promise. Oh, God. They're going to investigate him to determine whether he violated the Senate ethics rules on conflicts of interest. Of course he did. His wife, Sandra, is employed as president of consulting firm Ocean Wonks. Not Works, Wonks. Ocean Wonks. And has been since 2017, per her LinkedIn page. Before that, she was a direct employee of Ocean Conservancy, serving as a senior policy advisor beginning in 2008. They received more than $14.2 million in federal grants since 2008. During 2024 alone, it was given two sizable grants, one for $5.2 million from the NOAA for marine debris cleanup, and another $1.7 million from the EPA to assist with marine debris cleanup. And as Karen points out, yes, right out in the open. It really is, guys. It's out in the open, but the biggest problem is that the institutions that were responsible for telling us that this stuff was going on, the media, has been abdicating its job. They have been intentionally misinforming and mockingbirding us for so long, for government money, mind you, because there were USAID and other grants going to these mainstream media organizations to help shape narratives. They were purposely not telling us about this stuff. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. And West Virginia says, and why are we paying? We're paying taxes so that they can destroy some of the money supply to compensate for the amount of money that they printed to give to their friends like this. This is why they have to tax us, because when they print money to do this, they've got to destroy that money on the back end. That's why. And I know it sounds really dumb and boring and like, but in reality, guys, our government pays for nothing through taxes. Like, they do not wait to collect tax revenue to pay for programs and things. They call up the Federal Reserve, they print money, and they say, print it. I just wrote a bill, print the money, we spent it. And then on the back end, they come around and tax stuff to destroy some of that money. But when they don't destroy enough of it, we end up with the inflation that we've had. It's wonderful. So apparently here, Trump roasted a fake news reporter. Hack tried to claim that president was singling out certain people in these executive orders. Oh, this should be fun.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who aren't Jack Smith for his actions?
I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about.
Oh, yeah, that reporter asked the wrong question, guys. Yeah, guys, he was targeted directly by the government, by the media, by everybody for 10 years? Probably, leading up to 2016. He's probably been 9 or 10 years at this point. The man has just been on the shit end of the stick when it comes to the media and the government, and then they turn around and ask him about targeting people. Fucking tone deaf, man. And these people apparently don't like rich people, but they themselves are getting rich off our money. Yeah, see, Dr. Gold, is that they don't like you to get rich. They like their rich friends and them just fine. They just don't want peasants to get rich. That's their big issue. Karens, and also, guys, they don't actually hate their rich friends, even though they tell you that in the media. They don't. They don't. That's a wedge issue. That is a way to control your thinking. They just get you mad at people that have shit because you don't. And that keeps you looking over there. You're like looking over there at rich people. You're like, oh man, that rich private citizen, fuck him. He's got money and I don't. Meanwhile, they're making you look that way because if you looked that way, you would see all of these dipshit politicians that are getting rich off printed money, your money, they'd be over there. So they want you to look over there at the rich assholes and be mad at them when in reality, it's their fault. That's what they're doing. So, Dr. Gold, I agree. Like, they want you mad at rich people, but they are not mad at the rich people. Like, don't get it twisted, buddy. They aren't. They love their rich friends way more than they like you and me. Karen says exactly the paid to promote this fraud. Yep. Shell, that's gross. And I love our president. Yes. I agree on both statements. I know they weren't about the same thing. Bandit says, my president, our president. Bandit, our president. It's wonderful. And it's even like the Krasenstein's president, as much as they hate to admit it. Alex Cole's president, guys. This is Alex Cole's president. Much to his chagrin. And Karen says, the circle of Keynesian life. Yes. But it's good to see Trump just roasting people. I'm not going to play this because I just don't want to, because I don't want to give him any airtime. Mostly, though, I wanted to point out Joe Rogan's post on this because it's hilarious. Gavin is apparently launching a new podcast because they need to change the conversation. I'm talking directly to people I disagree with. No, screw you, buddy. But I do like Joe's comment up here. Look at this. If The Ick was a podcast. Yep. American Psycho, the podcast. Ugh. Gunther here is posting that we have another win. Yes, Chief Justice Roberts paused the order for Trump admin to pay $2 billion in USAID funds. Yeah, we have all these lower judges, guys, that keep trying to intervene. We already have, and we went over it on one of the last weeks, President of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, basically posted on X directly at our government and said, look, this happened when they were trying to turn El Salvador around. They know that this is coming here, And they said, hey, when these activist judges tried to get in the way of us fixing our own country, we impeached them. And we impeached them, and we impeached them until there were no more activist judges left to impeach, and then we fixed our country. Which is exactly what we need to be doing here when we get these crazy activist judges that are making rulings based on politics, not law. So here, Chief Justice Roberts stepped in and said, no, you stupid lower judge making political decisions, you're wrong, because that judge tried to tell the Trump administration that they had to pay the money to the USAID that they had been withholding. And the SCOTUS basically said, no, not true. You don't have to pay. I love it. I love it. I hope we see more of it. So this was obviously from earlier in the week. This post aged like milk on a hot, hot day. But Ukraine had agreed to a mineral deal. They were supposed to give us 50% of future minerals. If any of you were following this week at all, you know that he headed to the White House for the signing, all right. It did not go well. The fact that the top comment here, we'll just read it real quick. Trump is the master negotiator. Zelensky knows if he doesn't sign it, he will get no more help in the war. If he signs it, he may get help. Finally, we have a president who is done with America last policies and knows how to put America first. You don't know how right you were until this. And I can play the 7 minutes. I don't know if you guys want to listen to all 7 minutes, but it is awkward as hell. But it's also good to watch, guys. This negotiation went off the rails. So I'll wait a couple of seconds. Let me know if you guys want to watch all of it or not. I can play it. I can skip it. Just let me know. But Elon Musk points out here, hey, it is an important video. So if you haven't watched it, you can watch it on your own. If you don't want me to play it, that's fine. I also love that the top comment here, JD Vance is a great VP. That is one of my favorite pictures of JD. The other one is just the knife hand picture from this interview. You're down to watch. West Virginia says skip. Shell says game. See if anyone else chimes in right now, because right now you're potentially blew it to try and embarrass Trump. Yeah, if that's true, Karen, he failed.
Putin, it's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
And guys, in general, and let me see if I can find the part. Oh, here's JD. So we'll just skip to this part. This is the important part. He gets a little testy, and I like it. Come on, pick it. Play it. Play it. This is what happens when you do shit live. Play it. He looks like a meth head or coke addict, like either one. The stupid ring of death. Blow, darn you.
It's a shame that signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go with.
Oh, he's bitching about the ceasefire. Yeah.
Signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that.
I think it's disrespectful for you to come.
Oh, here we go.
What do
Here we
you
go.
mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes.
Yeah, guys.
But if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
Like that smug, that smug SOB
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future.
By the way, to me, that really does sound like a veiled threat. Like, if you don't fix my problem now, it will be your problem. But the only way that happens, guys, is if Zelensky makes the war worse. Because in its current evolution, in its current condition, this war does not put us at risk. The only way it puts the rest of Europe or the United States at risk across the ocean is for them to decide to kick off some sort of nuclear exchange, it would have to get significantly worse. And right now, Zelensky's basically saying it's not your problem yet, but it will be. I don't like the way that he worded it. I don't like it one bit. Gardner says the meeting with Lindsey Graham and several Senate Democrats before the White House meeting, I'd put cards on it that they were trying to set Trump up in a live press conference, but it backfired, and JD solidified the POTUS 48 nomination. Yeah, he's doing a really good job at setting himself up for the next run. That's for damn sure. Jack says it's the Coke. I don't know what you're talking about, Jack. I'm fine. Z had blown it up at this point. Rubio's face shows it. Yeah, Rubio was like... Dude, the diplomat for the Ukraine, what do they call that? I'm forgetting the word right now. Don't care. But like, she was just straight up like, oh fuck, like what is happening? How dare you threaten the U.S. in the Oval Office? Yeah, pretty much.
God bless. You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
That.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now,
yes, you are.
now you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank you?
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
And that, folks, is when J.D. Vance won the 48th presidency. Oh, man. It's so good to see J.D. leaning and Zelensky crossing his arms. Just the body language. Well, yeah, Zelensky's also sitting there like, meh, meh. He's like moping. Yes, correct, Karen. Thank you, ambassador. Yeah, the ambassador was looking real uncomfortable by the end of that. But yeah, guys, FAFO, Shell, you are correct. The amount of FAFO going on right now is crazy. But the best part is, guys, this. He disrespected the United... Look, at the White House posted this. The White House account posted he disrespected the United States in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he is ready for peace. President Donald J. Trump. The White House account was basically just like, bye. You can come back when you're ready to negotiate for peace. And that's it. Bandit says JD was on point. Gold, Dr. Gold, JD is so great. Yeah, guys, I think that moment is going to be remembered. That moment is going to be played in political ads. That moment will come up in the next presidential race. And then Trump gives an interview.
And very good feeling. I think our country has really turned around. We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. I'm looking for peace.
Yeah, guys, that's what I saw happening too. I saw Zelensky trying to get more money and more power, more friends, so that he can piss off, poke, and antagonize Russia more, which is not what we need. Jack says, literally hiding her face. Yeah, if you look at it, the ambassador is just like, oh, shit.
We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week. Soldiers, more than that, but 2,000 approximately people died this week. Young Ukrainians and Russians. And somebody would say, why do you care about Ukraine and Russian soldiers? I care about them. I care about everybody. And we're not doing that. Now, if we don't do anything, he's going to have to make peace, but he's dealing with a very weak set of cards. If we
more sets of cards. But yeah, guys, it is my opinion, and I agree with Trump on this one. I think he's just looking to further the war. He thinks he's going to push the Russians out of the Donbass, out of Sevastopol, out of these areas that they've taken. Guys, they're not giving up the land bridge to Sevastopol and Crimea. They're not. They just aren't. Not after they blew up the road bridge between Russia and Crimea, because that was the only way Russia had access to their base in Sevastopol. That got blown up. Now that that's gone, the only way there is over land. So they're not going to give it up. They're just not. Jack says, did you see Zelensky on Breitbart? I did not. But Bandit, I guess, did. Says he seen it and it didn't help. He didn't help himself any. Yeah, I'm not surprised, guys. Like, to me, Zelensky just seems like an arrogant prick. Shell says, signing off. See you next week, Patriots. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. You as well, Shell. Thank you very much for stopping by. You also have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you. And you can see here, there was a nice little update. They're like, hey, look, he's leaving. Bye. And apparently he went over to Europe because he went over there to get a $2 billion loan from the Brits. So, bye. Happy to see him go. This is one of my favorite political ads ever, guys. Eric posted this. Trump names Hung Cao as U.S. Undersecretary of the Navy. The guy is a badass. This was his U.S. Senate campaign launch for Virginia in 2024. I used to see his signs when I was commuting to work. He is the embodiment of the American dream.
This is the scariest sound you will hear when you live in a communist country. This is the last sound my parents heard when their fathers were taken away in the middle of the night, and they never saw their loved ones again.
FBI, open up.
That's the sound of losing your freedom, the sound of always living in fear. That's my family's real life story. We escaped from Vietnam just days before Saigon fell to the communists. We were given a new life in the most generous country on earth.
See, this is the kind of appreciation I would expect somebody to show the country. And you see it a lot with these immigrants. You do. They're great. A lot of these guys that came over from Vietnam and other places, they've seen what shit governments are, and they come here to get away from it. They come here for freedom, and they fight for it. They're great. Jack says he refused to apologize and doubled down. Oof. And yes, Jack, good point. That is a key word, loan. It was a $2 billion loan from the Brits.
America saved my life.
Yeah.
I graduated from the United States Naval Academy. I earned a master's in physics and fellowships at MIT and Harvard.
So he's a little bit smart.
Before the left replaced merit with racial quotas. I spent my life trying to repay my debt to America, my country, our country, with 25 years of service in Navy Special Operations, combat in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. But now our country has taken a dark turn.
Yeah.
That's Joe Biden's Justice Department sending 24 armed agents to arrest a pro-life activist in front of his family. That's Joe Biden's IRS raiding a gun shop and seizing thousands of records from law-abiding gun owners. Our names, our addresses, our social security numbers. That's Joe Biden arresting his challenger in the next election, a former president of the United States.
Yeah, guys, and I'll let you watch the rest of it. You guys should totally watch this ad. Hung Kao is a beast. Great nominee for Undersecretary of the Navy. Glad to see more and more patriots and amazing people being appointed to this administration. Gives me a lot more hope. Every time I see one of these new patriots getting nominated, getting put into place, this administration just seems better and better. But we do have a pretty unfortunate thing that happened this week, and it is a drastic escalation in the war on drugs, the war against the cartels, and border security, guys. Brownsville, Texas, a U.S. citizen and rancher was killed by an IED. Yeah. Now we are seeing terrorist type attacks, IED placements, other things now from drug cartels. Absolutely crazy, guys. It is going to get worse, but they are taking border security very seriously. Karen, I'll see you back here shortly. I'm glad they're taking it seriously, guys, and they are. I just saw a video today where Homan posted that they had an Osprey. They had a couple thousand more troops showing up to the border. They're doing all kinds of things. It's great. Jack says, yes, when they come as real refugees, there's small percentage that show up for immigration court and qualify for refugee status. Yeah. Most of the people that come here as migrants that are trying to seek asylum, they are not legitimate asylees. They are not. To seek asylum, you are supposed to stop in the first country that is not the one persecuting or pursuing you. But they keep arguing if you're in a South American country, that you aren't in a safe country until you get to the United States. Even though you're passing through a bunch of Latin American countries with the same culture, the same religion, the same everything. They're like, nope, it's not a safe country. Got to keep going, got to keep going, got to keep going, all the way through Mexico. So you hit the U.S., and now we're in a safe country to seek asylum. Like, F off. It's not legitimate. I don't like it. Yeah, guys, this is where we're going to get a little bit into it. I'm not going to have too many stories on this. It was a big deal this week. It's still evolving. Still, people are not satisfied about it. But the Epstein files that were supposed to come out this week were kind of a nothing burger. It was all old documents. Pam Bondi put out a letter basically saying that she was duped by the SDNY, the Southern District of New York. And those agents, yep, it's not good. Basically, they were supposed to turn over more. They're supposed to have more, and they didn't. But here is that letter, guys. And let's see if I can get a better shot of it. Still kind of hard to see, but it says, the highlighted part, late yesterday, learned from a source in the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised that I'd learned this new information. So this was to Kash Patel, by the way. It says, by 8 a.m. tomorrow, February 28th, which should have been yesterday, the FBI will deliver the full and complete files to my office, including all records, documents, audio and video recordings, and material. I'm also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order for the FBI was not followed. You will deliver me a comprehensive report of your findings and proposed personnel action within 14 days. Yep. Yeah, guys, it did not go well. The media optics of it were not good. It was just all around not good. They were supposed to release more information. They thought they had all of it, and they didn't. People called them out on it. We had a bunch of these influencers that had binders. They ended up walking out in front of the media. They weren't expecting it. And I've seen Tim Pool had an episode last night with Mike Cernovich where they basically discussed that was not planned, right? So the whole posing with the binders, some of the influencers did it again afterwards. They were under an embargo to talk about it until 3 p.m. So when things started to come out, the people that were under the embargo couldn't defend themselves. They couldn't say that there was nothing new in the binders. There was a lot of issues, guys. This was a big, big fumble, an unforced error, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people aren't very happy with it. And then you have here Cash making a post that the American people will get an FBI that is transparent, accountable, and committed to justice, just like when I exposed the grotesque violations and fraud leading to the House Intelligence Committee's investigation into Crossfire Hurricane, calling out corrupt actors. I will equally defend those attacked falsely, especially as your new FBI director. A female agent was falsely referenced in the media this week as part of an alleged whistleblower disclosure. She was not a honeypot. I have reviewed the matter again, and she did the limited job assigned to her. It says these actions were also reviewed by the special counsel, John Durham. He found that no evidence of wrongdoing by her. The agent dedicated her life to public service, and so on and so on. But you can see her Cash is taking this very seriously. And if it wasn't for Cash, I'd probably be a lot more upset about what's going on, but the FBI definitely needs to clean house, guys. The SDNY is corrupt. That's the people who were charging Trump in his cases. That's the people that were going after Mayor Eric Adams. There's all kinds of politically motivated prosecutions that are coming out of the Southern District of New York. So we really, really, really need to see FBI raids. We need to see investigations. We need to see arrests. We need to see something. And people are going to want to see it sooner rather than later. So, Questionable Garter says we should create a DMZ zone in Mexico and make it a safe country. FA and find Outistan. I'm okay with it. But yeah, guys, we definitely need to make a safe country, safe place somewhere else. We can all route them through Gitmo. How about that? Just like if you want to come here, you go on a boat through Gitmo. And if you are not a legitimate asylum seeker, you can just stay there. Or go home. Seems like a good option to me. Questionable Gardner here points out that the North Carolina governor joins others in outing themselves as warmongers. We knew that Lindsey Graham met with Zelensky prior to the White House meeting. This was a set against Trump. This is what you were talking about here. Deep state has not been touched. Elon Musk, I ask you, please apply the gas. More cuts are needed. Mayor Robert Burns, Governor Stein signs joint statement against POTUS and the VP. This should officially tank Josh Stein in the eyes of North Carolinians. He cares more about the billions of dollars sent to Ukraine than Western North Carolina, I think, WNC. Where was his outrage when they got no help? Yeah, so they're basically bitching and moaning about the treatment of Zelensky in the Oval Office. Guys, F these people. Like, for real. The people that are more pro-Ukraine than pro-America can just F off. Go somewhere else. This is just a real quick clip here. You can see there was a near miss. This was actually out of, I believe, Midway Airport, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was crazy how close it was, guys. This thing landed. You have a plane crossing right in front of it, and it takes back off. Now, there was some analysis done. People were saying it may not have hit it anyway, but guys, that is way too close. Way too close. But here it says Eric Trump calls on Southwest to promote the pilot and flight crew seen in this video, reacting flawlessly to a plane intersecting their runway. Yeah, I think good behavior should be rewarded. You have USAID Egypt spending scam, gym equipment, climate and social welfare, and this is just the recent ones in a long list. Few hundreds of thousands for service member spouses, not sure what that's for. And Data Republican Jenica says, gym equipment? Yeah, Life Fitness Sales. See there, highlighted at the bottom, purchasing gym equipment for USAID building, correcting typing error for $120,000. Oh, you guys can't see that column. Hang on. Top right there, $120,050 for gym equipment. Who here wants $120,000 of gym equipment? I think I could probably do a couple of things with that. You have here $24.7 million for activity aimed to support the GOE's climate readiness and resilience of the water and wastewater sector and ensure sustainable and quality service delivery, which is essential to economic and social welfare. This activity will work with the blah, blah, blah. USAID Egypt, everyone. Yeah. So, Jenica, good call out. But yeah, gym equipment, like so damn wasteful. Yes, Bandit. I don't know if you've noticed a common theme with all of the Doge and government waste stuff. Yeah. Jack says Josh Stein is a Josh Shapiro apprentice with the same support. Oh, okay. Good to know. Josh Shapiro is Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. I believe that's correct. So you can see here, Kash Patel and the FBI launched investigations into former director James Comey spying on President Trump's 2016 campaign. Comey and the Obama FBI sent 2 female honeypot agents to infiltrate the Trump campaign, traveling with Trump as well as some high-level staffers. Worse, this was an off-the-books operation, and the Trump FBI is now attempting to locate these agents. Good luck. Also, you see Tom Homan making some good progress. This should have been over there with the border IED story. I apologize. But we are seeing that, as stated from an earlier post, Mexican cartel leader Rafael Caro Quintero has officially landed in New York. All 29 on board are looking at life in prison. Now, I don't know why we're importing people to put them in prison, but I'll allow it, I guess, because Tom Homan seems to be doing a pretty damn good job. So let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Data Republican. All right, I'll bite. What is it? Data Republican says, on a quiet weekend night, I'll confess what fuels me, the voices of veterans reaching out in my DMs. I am a disabled woman untouched by the world's brutality. But it's a different weight altogether to hear from resilient men, heroes who gave their bodies to war built on lies. Their sacrifices ignite me, drives me to speak out against the senseless violence they endured and to honor them by fighting for peace. Throw a little comment on here real quick. Yep, Jenica has been doing some great work. So thank you for posting that. Got some Doge updates. OPM successfully executed the first ever fully digital retirement, guys. We finally did it in 2025. A federal employee can now potentially retire without going to the salt mine. Oh my God, there were 700 mine workers 230 feet below ground that were processing 10,000 applications a month, stored in envelopes and cardboard boxes. This was the process for federal retirements, everybody. It was by hand, it was manual, it was stupid, and it's in a limestone mine in Pennsylvania. Not anymore. We are already making changes, folks. Digital retirement, finally, in 2025. We're almost there, boys. We're almost into the 20th century. We're coming out of the 20th century, I guess. It's freaking wild. Doge update number 2. Agencies often have more software licenses than employees. This is what one of you were talking about earlier, and the licenses are often idle, i.e. they're paid for but not installed on any computer. For example, at GSA, 13,000 employees, There are 37,000 WinZip licenses, guys. That is a crime. Paying for a WinZip license is a crime. Having 37,000 of them, which is more than 2 times the number of employees. That's almost 3 times the number of employees. Absolutely crazy. 19,000 training software subscriptions and multiple parallel training software platforms. Not surprised. I've seen that at multiple companies I've worked for. They just cannot make up their mind. 7,500 project management software seats for a division with 5,500 employees. And 3 different ticketing systems running in parallel. I have also seen this at multiple very large corporations that I've worked for. Yep. Questionable Gardener says, who is with me that thought Iron Mountain was just a name of shredding company and not an actual mountain? Yes, I also thought that. They're also a data center storage company. But yes, I understand your comment. Jack says you should investigate Battle Buddies. Speaking of that, ooh, that would be a good one. Questionable Gardener says, Jack, stop hacking me. I started on this morning. Very stupid and inefficient. That's unfortunate. But yeah, they're working on fixes for that. The audit was repeated at the Department of Labor. Here's the initial results. 380 Microsoft 365 licenses with 0 users. 0. 128 Teams conference room licenses only installed in 30 rooms. That's less than 128. 250 VS Code licenses using 33. 129 Photoshop licenses using 22. Guys, those are not cheap licenses either. 5 cybersecurity licenses with 20,000 seats. The Department of Labor headcount is less than 15,000. So they could cut 4 of those just right off the top. Nobody would ever notice. That's absolutely crazy. Also, readers added context. Visual Studio VS Code is a free code editor for personal and commercial use, so excess licenses cost 0. Sure, although there's probably an enterprise version of that is not free. Visual Studio is a programming environment in Windows, generally not free, such as VS Code. This is an OP meant that's a factual error. We'll see. Jack said, I don't know why my comments are taking like 3 minutes to show up. I don't know. Or it could just be that I'm not reading them very quickly. Sometimes I get lost. But here is an update from Data Republican. I should have had this earlier. Apologies again. Sometimes with this many stories, just try to keep them in an order that makes sense is just more work than it's worth. But you can see here that Data Republican got doxxed this week, guys. Real kind of messed up. We did talk to Sean on Tuesday in the space. That was an amazing space. It was not recorded, so you can't go watch it. I'll just leave it there. But Sean, it was a great time talking to him. Thank you for showing up and having some time to spend with us in the space Tuesday. It was amazing. You'll have to take my word for it because you can't watch it. But you can see here she was doxxed. Her name is Jenica Pounds. I recently resigned from my job to pursue Doge adjacent efforts full-time while my background check is still in progress. My ultimate goal is to work with the administration to cut waste and improve efficiency. Started as a side hobby. She is 100% deaf and nonverbal. Her lack of signing fluency does not make me any less deaf. It's a result of a language impairment related to my autism called expressive dysphagia, which affects her ability to construct language fluently in real time and impacts signing, speaking, and even writing. So yeah, guys, she's deaf, and being deaf is not and never should be defined by one's signing ability, particularly when there are medical conditions involved. Yeah, guys, all of this, it's really unfortunate. They doxed her. People are questioning things. People are trying to interview her. People are doing all kinds of things. Guys, understand she does have some limitations, but she is doing amazing work given what she is working with. Guys, she is doing such amazing work as a data scientist. And the AI tooling that she is creating is so impressive. I can't even wrap my head around all that stuff. And I know a lot about a lot, but this kind of stuff, impressive. But it says here, contact Sean Hendricks for any media requests. Yes, it was very good to talk to Sean. Let's see. Keach, we do have a habit of scarily sharing thoughts. Check yes. No, they aren't showing up for me. Oh, yep. Absolutely amazing work. I agree. West Virginia. Yeah, Jenica's doing great stuff, guys. Keep up with her. If you're not following Data Republican or the Data or the Interpreter or Sean or any of the other accounts, you should be. You should absolutely be following them. You should go do that right now if you're not. You can see here, good morning. As I continue working on yesterday's project, I want to share the most valuable tool I've ever created, published under my real name. This resource cross-references Bible verses with the Ante-Nicene Fathers, a 19th century classical series documenting early Christian writings. Click on any blue highlighted verse and you will see which church fathers pre-325 AD referenced it. Why does this matter? The New Testament is unique in all of antiquity. It can be largely reconstructed entirely from quotations in contemporary writings. By comparison, the earliest surviving manuscript of the Iliad dates to the 10th century AD, despite being written in the 8th century BC, yet it is still considered the second most well-attested ancient text in history. The very existence of the gospel affirms Luke 16:31. Yeah, guys, you can go to her GitHub and you can download her Bible tool. Short video walkthrough there by John. Check it out. It is some really, really great work. Something you can use when you're doing your own Bible research, something that you can share with your pastor, your priest, whoever. It's great. Questionable Gardner even points out the Bible tool is amazing. I have not yet had an opportunity to dig into it. I actually would love to. I've found that Bible Hub, and it's not the same as the other hub, guys. Bible Hub is actually a very good resource as well for cross-referencing or looking up verses in pretty much any available translation. Can you put a link to that, please? I mean, I can just copy the link, put it in the chat. Boop. Did it go? Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't look like it's it. Unless that's a URL shortener link. Let me know if that works. Or if it even shows up, because I'm only seeing it as going to YouTube and Rumble. So let me know if that shows up on X. But yeah. Yep. Dan Bongino. Another huge story this week. Dan Bongino is giving up the largest live podcast, live stream on earth, guys. That guy has regularly over 120,000 live concurrent viewers on his podcast. He is stepping aside from that shortly, and he is going to work with cash. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be great. The media was trying to drag him and say that he doesn't have any experience. Guys, it's just not true. Don't listen to them. He has experience in Secret Service. He has experience in other things. It's just great choice. Super impressive that Dan Bongino would be willing to step aside from one of the most successful podcasts in history. Crazy. Also very patriotic. Very, very cool. Very nice to see. The Jenica link can do a great demo of the Bible tool. Did you guys actually get that link, Gardner? Just let me know. But yeah, AOC sent a letter to Pam Bondi asking if she's under investigation for giving advice to criminal aliens on evading ICE. I just included this because it's funny to me. Because people were basically saying that, yeah, you can't do that. And now she's worried. So she's sending letters to Pam. Glenn. Yep. We are not blind to who Putin is, but we are also not blind to who you are. Just talking to Vladimir Zelensky here in response to, thank you for your support. Thank you for the visit, blah, blah, blah. Yes. You are a rude, arrogant, and manipulative man. We are and always will be with your people, but I am glad that we finally are done with you. I sincerely hope we begin to track the grift, I'm assuming is what it, not graft. I assume that's supposed to be grift. Bribery and corruption that has greeted our money. Again, these typos, Glenn, come on, do better. We will not be surprised to find much of it hiding in your coffers. Yeah, I don't think he was very impressed with Zelensky's actions. One of my favorite people to follow, it's just a guilty follow of mine. I don't know why, but Hannibal Donkey. What radicalized me? The summer between my junior and senior year of high school, the roof of a large building on campus was replaced. The building was scheduled to be torn down the following summer. I asked the principal why the school would spend money re-roofing a building that was to be torn down. He told me the money had been approved, and if it didn't get spent, they would not be able to ask for as much money in the next budget. When I asked how that worked, he explained that the next year's budget would be based on the previous budget. If they weren't able to spend all the money from the previous budget, the next budget be reduced based on that unspent money. When I asked if you don't need to spend the money, doesn't that mean that the budget is bigger than necessary? He went on to explain that they would find somewhere to spend that money and they would always need a bigger budget. It was at that moment that I truly understood that it's a shell game and that the government, its politicians, and bureaucrats are perfectly comfortable wasting taxpayer money if it suits their goals. They are not public servants, they are criminals. Yeah, guys, and I saw this when I was in the military too. You see this every year. End of the fiscal year, so end of September, people are spending money like it's going out of style for this exact same reason. Because if you don't spend all the money, you get that much less next year. And they're like, well, maybe we didn't need it this year, but maybe we'll need it next year, guys. So we can't afford to let them cut our budget. We need more money next year. So we need to spend every dollar we have this year so that next year we can get more, just in case. But they were buying shit like big TVs they didn't need. They were replacing desks that didn't need replacing. They were just buying like projectors, and they were buying like smart boards for training. They were just, it's stupid, just stupid. So annoying. Thank you, Brandon, for making this post. It's a very good point when it comes to government budgeting. I hate it. Let's see. Jenica Link, question mark Gardner says no. Okay, so apparently it didn't go through. I'm not in my own live on X, so there you go. Gardner posted it. Glenn's typing isn't better than mine. Dr. Gold says, I have 30 minutes left on my shift. I will be listening. I appreciate you, Dr. Gold. Again, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it as always. Gardner says, correct. You can only carry money forward if you allocate a reason on your IRS 990 construction or large purchase. By rule, they have to be zero at the end of the balance sheet. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. It does not incentivize efficiency, guys. It doesn't incentivize people to be smart in how they spend their money. It incentivizes you to waste. I hate it. Okay, Alina Haba here. By the way, I got clarification. These are the boxes of documents from Mar-a-Lago. These are not the documents for Epstein, just to let you know. These are Mar-a-Lago documents that were seized. So they got back onto Air Force One, headed to where they belong. Justice has been and will continue to be restored under Trump. Truth, justice, always win in the end. God bless America. And you can see people are going to start probably making Epstein. Yeah, where's the Epstein client list? Yeah, not surprised. But, yep. And another great win, guys, for Make America Healthy Again is Steak and Shake announced that they are going to be the first fast food chain to convert all of their fry oil back to 100% all-natural beef tallow. No preservatives, no chemicals, no additives. Fries cooked in 100% all-natural beef tallow. This reminds me, when I was growing up, of the delicious McDonald's French fries when they were still made with beef tallow, guys. Yes, beef tallow fries. I love it. I hope more people do it. We need to make America healthy again. A little crazy sidebar. Apparently, and it is not the USS Virginia, it is one of the Virginia-class submarines, and I believe it gets... Oh, look, the original poster deleted their comment. That's fun. Is it still there, or did they delete it? They deleted it! Oh, did they get called out, and did someone get in trouble? So here, there was a fueling company in Norway refused to provide marine diesel to a Virginia-class submarine. It was not the USS Virginia. I forget which one it was. But yeah, guys, they were like, no, we won't fuel you. Yeah, they were like, because of the way you treated Zelensky, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they deleted that post, guys. I really should have screenshotted it. Now I'm kind of mad I didn't. But hopefully there was some backlash, because that has real NATO implications. Like, if you're not going to give fuel to a NATO ally, like, that could go real bad. There's a lot of calls now, actually, to withdraw from NATO, withdraw from a lot of these international organizations. I'm kind of okay with it after stuff like this. But yeah. So apparently we'll see if that changed. And then this was shared with me as well. Questionable Gardener posted this. Let's see. If you have a second, load the Jenica link and click one of the Bible books and chapter. Okay, well, let me go back. Where did I put it? Oh, okay. It goes straight to the tool. I thought I would have to like download something on GitHub. Okay. Let's see. So let's go to the book of... I like Thessalonians just because it is written to the church of Thessalonica, which for some reason that name to me is just amazing. ASV, no, let's go King James because King James is the best. Any author, okay. Well, go. Jump to chapter. Okay, so for chapter like 4. Click any verse. Oh, okay. Clement of Alexandria. So what? 122, where the Lord was not prohibited from. Wow, that's crazy, dude. It just jumps straight to the historical document. Okay, so for the verse, go away. I don't want to. I can't make it go away now. Here, okay. So verse 3 was, for this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication. Okay, let's see what Cyprian had to say about it. Hence he says the same thing, that the members of Christ must not be joined with the members of a harlot. Hence the man is delivered unto Satan. Okay. That's a super neat tool. I got booted as you clicked the link. Like I kicked you out of the tool. I'm not sorry. Anyways, I'll let you get back to it then. For the NC GOP news, Mecklenburg GOP convention, the establishment has lost. Grassroots candidate Kyle Kirby has won the Mecklenburg GOP chair. So, and yes, Gardner, that is actually a pretty awesome tool. It takes you straight to the historical text where it references the thing. Oh, that is actually a really neat tool. I might see if I can share that with my pastor and see if he has any use for it. Yeah, that was actually really cool. But here you got some North Carolina news that we have a Rhino Uniparty type individual out. We have a grassroots candidate made it. Kyle Kirby won the GOP chairman. Nice. Said if you don't select a specific Bible, it will cross-reference to the other Bibles also. Nice. Okay, so it's just like a filtering thing. So if the less you filter, the wider your results. I like that. That is a really neat tool. I'll have to leave a comment, make a post to Jenica about that because that is a really cool tool. Historic lows, guys. White House posted February saw the lowest illegal crossings in history. 8,326. That's it. Every illegal was removed or prosecuted. Under Biden, 300,000 per month. The border is closed. The invasion is over. That's crazy. So yeah, all of whom were quickly ejected from our nation or where necessary, prosecuted for crimes against the U.S. This means that very few people came. Thanks to the Trump administration policies, the border is closed to all illegal immigrants. Anyone who tries to illegally enter the USA will face significant criminal penalties and immediate deportation. A little bit of a clap there. Good stuff, as one would expect. And I included this because I do like following Javier Milei's progress. Argentina's economy is surging. Milei's policies drive a 7.1% GDP growth projection. GDP is expected to grow 7.1% interannually in Q2 2025. Guys, imagine that. Prosperity is what happens when you cut government overspending and excess regulation. Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought, guys? You cut the government, you get rid of regulations, and everything gets better. Maybe we should try it. Like I said in a post earlier in the week, Milei and Bukele basically gave us a roadmap on how to fix the West. Are we going to follow it? And it looks like we are. We're doing a good job with Doge. We're doing a good job with all of these appointments. We're doing a good job trying to slash government with the Doge 5 bullet point emails. But I'm just really glad to see that Argentina is continuing to do better and better. And I look forward to following up with them to see even more progress. And as my final story for the week, yes, Dr. Gold, 7% is a very large GDP increase for 1 year. That is a very good increase. President Trump has signed an executive order making English the official language of the United States. I don't know if you understand how wide of an impact this could have, but one of the reasons that English was never adopted as the official language is it would mean that all business with the federal government would have to be conducted in English. There would be no choices. You would not be able to get forms printed and submitted in foreign languages. You would not be able to do many things in a language other than English. I'm interested to see what kind of ramifications and what the fallout is going to be, but I think this is still the right move because English is now the official language of the United States. It has always unofficially been, but it's good to see. As you can see, the first comment there by the Texas one, no more pressing one for English. I hope that's true. It's currently only going to be in the federal government. It's going to take time to get that change implemented. But guys, it's progress. And that's what we like to see. We're just out of the first month of the Trump presidency. We have 4 years. We really have like 18 months until we start rolling into the midterms. But I am super pleased to see the progress that we've made. I am very much looking forward to the progress that we will make in the near future and for the rest of Trump's term. It's going to be exciting to follow. I'm going to look forward to bringing it to you every week, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for our weekly update. I also look forward to continuing our space Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. with the Questionable Gardener, myself, Jack, and others. West Virginia shows up most nights as well. Like I said, it wasn't recorded last week, but Sean from Data Republican's team, it was very good seeing him and talking with him about Jenica's issues that she was having after being doxxed, about the progress that she's making. This was fun. Thank you, Dr. Gold. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, I have a real good time going through these stories with you. I have a lot more fun when I get to interact with you more. It was a great time tonight. Plenty of interaction, plenty of messaging. Thank you, Bandit, for the great show, my friend comment. I appreciate it. You guys help make it all possible. I look forward to seeing you on our weekly space Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I look forward to seeing you next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for our weekly update. And I'll see you around on X. I'll see you around on the Discord. I'll see you around wherever, guys. Just reach out if you want to chat. And I look forward. Thank you, Gardner. Also, thank you for your help as always. I look forward to our space on Tuesday, sir. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you, Jack. It was good for you to show up. I appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words. Everybody, it has been a pleasure. It has been a wonderful week. I look forward to another wonderful week. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful time for the rest of the weekend. Spend some time with friends and family. Touch grass. Do whatever you need to do. And then, you know what? Dig in. Make progress. Push forward. Be valuable to somebody. Do whatever it is that you do. Go to work. Do whatever. Hug a kid. Oop, 300. Met our goal. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I look forward to it, man. You guys make it all worth it. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and God bless you, and God bless these United States.